at the risk of being controversial and possibly losing your interest, I feel the need to address this thing that I am calling, and many of you refer to as the C word. Now, first, I want to mention that this has come up in a casual conversation with a few people over the past couple of weeks. And when it did, my initial reaction was probably similar to yours. I thought to myself, after all this time, all the progress that's been made, has been demonstrated, have been documented, seriously, were they still going to use the C word? They're still going to put the C word in place so casually, so easily? Then, after I tried to put myself in their shoes, I realized that, yes, there is a time and a place to use this word. And that is what I've come to talk to you about today. There is a time and a place when using the word can't is acceptable. Let's talk about when and why it can be okay and when it's not okay. I'm Randy Lee. I used to weigh over 400 pounds. Through hard work, discipline, consistency, and the support of good people in my corner, I'm now getting close to reaching my goal of weighing 200 pounds again. Uh, I have had and am having tremendous success using intermittent fasting as a way to gain control over what was once out of control. And the purpose of my making these videos is to help others reach their goals for weight loss, better health, and hopefully happier and more fulfilling lives. Now, if you've listened or seen me in the past here or on my Flipping Genius podcast, you heard me mention my daily walking regime. I usually walk about 5 or 6 miles daily through different neighborhoods around me. I do this both for exercise and for business building. Two of my walks this week brought me face to face with a couple friends who happen to also be business competitors. Um, since my weight loss is noticeable, in both these cases, the guys brought up the fact that I looked slimmer and healthier. And unfortunately, in both their cases, they looked noticeably less slim and less healthy than they did the last time that I had seen them just a few months ago. So, so they asked me what I was doing different, besides walking, which they've seen me doing for years. That led me to mention the success that I'm having with intermittent fasting. And I told them how it's helping me feel more in control of my life and my diet and my health and everything. I get excited about it. And naturally, I encourage them to not only consider it, but to start doing it immediately. I mean, but that's me. That's just how I do. And this led this led to both of these normally optimistic, proactive men who generally have high expectations for themselves to use the same word in my presence. And that word was C-A-N-T, can't. Uh, as an athlete, a coach, an entrepreneur, a father, a friend, hell, in just about every capacity of my life, that word is a word that just gets under my skin. Uh, and it makes me want to rise up and challenge it. See, in every circumstance, I'm of the opinion, just about every circumstance, I am of the opinion that when somebody tells me they can't, it really means they won't. And in these two cases, I believe that my two friends were really telling me uh, what they were really telling me is that they didn't understand. Because after I explained more about how intermittent fasting actually works, both of them realized they absolutely could do it, and if they choose to do so, and I hope they do. I explained that the way that I do intermittent fasting, the plan that I choose to follow is simply 10 hours of eating, followed immediately and completely by 14 hours of fasting every day. I told them that I use an app on my phone to keep track of the fasting process. I use another app on my phone that makes it super easy to track my calorie intake and output. And my phone itself has a built-in tool that tracks the distance that I'm walking all the time. I told them that I don't pay a penny for any of these apps, a fact that, believe me, did not surprise them because I have a reputation as a cheapskate that precedes me in all things. I told them that my once 406-pound body has is down to now 214 pounds, and that before the end of the year, before this end of this year, 2023, it will be at 200 pounds because of what I'm doing. I'm confident. After a little more small talk and about business and football and a tad more encouragement for them to get off of their asses and get in gear and join me on the road to good health and overall happiness, I literally hit that road to wrap up my miles for the day. And I felt really good about those interactions because I like both these guys and I'm delighted to be of help. And that is exactly, precisely why I am talking and taking the time to share this with you today. And part of my delight in my talks with these two guys is that we are able to eliminate that C word, can't, from their vocabulary when it came to using the wonderful tool of intermittent fasting for accomplishing their goals. Now, however, I promised that at the outset that I would share when it is acceptable for you to use the word can't in regards to intermittent fasting and in setting and accomplishing your weight loss and exercise goals. Now, to be honest, that is something that you ultimately ought to discuss with your medical practitioner, your doctor, your nurse practitioner, or whoever you see for your medical care. No matter who you are, you will have limitations. I use the 14-hour fast, 10-hour eat plan because of limitations my body has after years of abusing it. Occasionally, I will push myself to fast for 15 or 16 hours, but I find that my body starts giving me signs that I really need to eat. And my stubborn self would probably say that is my body telling me I shouldn't keep fasting. But I am pretty certain that if I continued to push that envelope, I would find out the hard way that I had run right into that cannot wall, that can't wall. And having experienced that wall a time or two in the past, I know it is real. And that is why I say there is a time when it's okay to use the C word, can't. Hey, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel here and look for more encouraging and informative videos to come regarding intermittent fasting and anything else I can think of that I know can help you. In the meantime, if you want to share with me, ask me questions, make suggestions, whatever, please leave comments below. I'll try to answer every one of them. Or if you want, just email me directly at flippingquestions@gmail.com. And if you think this information could help a friend or a loved one, please share it with them. And here's hoping we continue to see less of each other.